Hi, I'm here with Belinda McDaid down at the City of Kingston. Belinda's been involved in the Access IT for seniors down in Chelsea, where she's had fantastic success using Skype and some other technologies to engage senior citizens in the community and end their sense of isolation. So just having a quick chat with Belinda to find out about the project and the success of the project, I guess, in general. So how are you, Belinda? Tell us a little bit about the project.
Well, the Seniors IT project came about because we had a consultation in Chelsea with the community, and as part of that consultation it became really evident that there was a lot of people excluded from that process, and we wanted to really look at the idea, if you use technology, what way could that enhance people's participation within the project and setting directions for us. So we started off with setting up an advisory group of people to give us a bit of an indication as to what kind of things we could look at for people who were isolated and who were they and what were their issues. And from that we set up, we had meetings and a plan that we set up with Access Care Southern, Shona Callum, and we then extended that later on to involve the Brotherhood of St Lawrence clients as well, because they really fitted the profile of people who were receiving case management services from the City of Kingston and external parties. So they became our vital kind of client that we were going to target, and so there were quite complex needs involved with people there. They had mobility issues, they had health issues, mental health issues. And so we started off with that group of people, and we said we would do a demonstration project using IT. And the kind of things that we wanted to look at was social isolation, how we could set up a network, a virtual network between them. So we used Skype to do that. Skype was one of the first things that everyone got a Skype address the first time they walked into the classroom. And we really looked at what was the easiest thing to connect people first to that kind of the concept of learning. And we felt that if we used Skype, that would be the easiest thing that we could teach people on the computer to start with, after we've taught them how to use a mouse.
And were these people absolutely non-IT people?
Yeah.
I guess, are you an IT person yourself?
I'm not particularly an IT person. I'd love to say I was, but the reality is I'm not. So we thought that when we decided to go for people in the community, we thought we'll start at the very basics, people who wouldn't have IT knowledge, and we'll see if that was possible to kind of change that outcome. So we started from that point of like people with little to no expertise at all in that area. Most people we had a couple of people who were typists in a former life, so we had a couple of people who had that experience, and we had people who we put a call out to people, and we really wanted to ask people would they volunteer. We weren't really going to ask people if they obviously didn't want to take part in it. So it really was a demonstration project.
So tell us about the process and how you got started, and how long it took to, I guess, see some benefits and some of the challenges you might have had along the way.
Initially, I think it took probably 12 months in the process to kind of tweak the program, to get funding and to get people on board, keep people on board. And one of the key players that got involved was the community programs in Department of Community Planning. And that was fantastic. We had a senior worker there who kind of had shared the vision. So it was a case that they came on board, and we tweaked the project as we went along to assist funding requirements as well. So it was really a merging of a few different departments to make it work for everybody. And we also then, on the ground, we put out requests in the community just via a poster, and we kept that quite contained to Chelsea, the Chelsea Community Renewal Area, which was Chelsea and Bondi Beach. And we also kept it restricted to the organisation. So each organisation could nominate 4 people each. So it was really tight. We didn't really anticipate what we received was basically over 200 people expressing interest. So that was really out of control for the kind of core group of management that were dealing with it. And we had to scale it down using a bit of a rating system. So we rated people on the basis of their age. So the older they were, the higher you were rated, and your health needs and social isolation. So if people had, recent bereavements and things like that, they had a higher priority. If they lived alone, they had a higher priority. But they were really that was the only thing that we rated people on. So we knew then that we were targeting the people who were most vulnerable.
Great. And how did they take to it? The
Look,
people themselves involved in the program.
Very enthusiastically, I've got to say. Originally with a lot of fear and a lot of people came very reluctant. We had an information session to kind of outline what was involved, and they had to sign contracts. So because we were actually giving them a free computer and free broadband for a year, so we had to develop contracts. So we had to be really upfront about what we were expecting, and we had to be really clear about that we were going to ask them to try banking online and try IT systems. We weren't saying to them that they had to do them, but we wanted them just to kind of commit to trying it and giving it a go. Yeah. And so with that in mind, people still signed the contract and got on board with it. So it was really, really good. The eldest we have on the project, 88, and she was really a powerhouse for everybody else, because I think that people really got a lot of inspiration from each other, and that really drove keeping everybody connected.
So what kind of things were people doing with Skype, and how were they engaging with each other and engaging with Kingston?
Yeah, look, the kind of things that people have done on Skype is we've got one gentleman who has tracked his daughter who's been travelling around Australia, so they Skype each other every week. We have had an Irish woman who Skypes her son in Sweden, and that's been really good for her. But she's had really little contact at all, but just the visuals are brilliant, and she's been able to see her grandchildren. So that's been another bonus. We've had a lady who lives at the Caravan Park in Chelsea, and she has attended her niece's wedding in Sussex in England via Skype. And again, that's making that connection with extended family that she would never have had connection with. Yeah. And one of the other things, I guess, the shoot-offs of that was that she has a niece now that they're jointly doing their family history together. So they do that via email and Skype. So, it's again adding more connections to. And as she says,
I assume these people are connecting with each other as well via Skype now, and
yeah,
become
well,
friends.
That was one of the things that we set up at the start, was just to really encourage them to ask each other questions on Skype about if they're having problems with the course.